Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. With superior armies comes superior weapons. How has innovation mechanized the battlefield? From bullets to battleships and everything in between. It's machinery of warfare. Plus, from the gross to the gourmet. See how that in-flight meal lands on your tray table. On secrets of your airline food. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
BECU presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
That's right. Hey, Todd, how are you, buddy?
Hey, good morning, BJ. Doing great, thank you.
You know, Todd is the man. We've been working with him for a lot of years now, and Todd's got over 25 years of experience in the financial services industry. So if you really want to find the way to manage your money properly and being taken care of, I'm telling you, BECU is a great, great place to go. Credit unions are always about taking care of the customer, taking care of the people, because what is it, Todd? It's not like you're the owners and we're not. Like, we're all the owners.
Yep. You own me, BJ. We talked about this. So, yeah, you're a member. You own me. So
the trouble is
giving BJ too much power.
Yeah. You know what I found out, though? That Todd's a member and he owns me. So it really is a mutual ownership. It's really...
That's true. That is true.
It's really hard to get the upper hand. So, if you would like to join BECU, it's really simple. All you got to do is live, work, or attend school in Washington State. You get all the info at becu.org. And if you have a question for Todd, you can call right now, 206-421-ROCK, or you can text us at 77999.
Our first text we got, BJ, this morning says, "Good morning, Todd. My wife and I are currently paying off our car. Our monthly payment is $327, but we're making $500 payments each month. We both have about a 600 credit score. We're trying to improve our credit. We have a nest egg right now of about $5,000 in the bank, continuously adding about $1,000 to it each month. Should we just pay off the car entirely or open up a secure credit card? We have also about $2,000 in collection."
Okay, we got a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. Yes.
There's a lot going on there, Todd. Wow.
We talk about that emergency fund as the first place to go. And it sounds like we only have about $500 there in that emergency fund. That's not enough by any stretch of the imagination.
They said nest egg of about $5,000 in the bank.
5,000, they said it.
Yeah,
5,000.
5,000.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I heard. Okay. So 5,000 is much better. First and foremost, I probably would wait a little bit, just keep making that $500 payment on the car. I would continue with that. You're getting a good credit reported on it. It will be paid off within probably, I don't know how much he has left for term wise, but I'm going to guess 2 to 3 years at that $500 a month. We'll get that paid off. A secured credit card would be a good idea. So you get another type of credit reported out there. 600 credit score, you should be able to do that. It's low. We want to get you back up into the 700, 720, 760, or above eventually. So I would do a secured credit card. I would continue paying that $500 on my car. Keep that emergency fund building a little bit more until you get about that 6 to 8 months of expenses is kind of the area we're trying to shoot for.
And Todd, I heard him say they have $2,000 in collections. I'm assuming that's not a good thing.
No. And thank you, BJ. I didn't catch that part. I'm not sure what that is, but that's got to be a priority to get that paid off. That is killing your credit score. It's going to go to collections, and it is on collections. It's on your credit score, so that is killing you. I would if you haven't done so, go to annualcreditreport.com. Let's pull up a credit report from each of the bureaus and see what else is out there. See if that collections is out there, how that's being reported. But that's got to be a priority. You owe that money. It's not going anywhere. It's only going to continue to kill your credit.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, that's the big one to handle. And if you have any more questions for Todd, or for some reason you don't get through the phone lines, you can always email him. Just go to KISW.com. Scroll down, you'll see Todd's smiling face. Click on that banner, and whatever Todd can do for you, he will. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Well, nice little simple question. We went from a longer question to a simple one. Todd, is a starter home a worthwhile purchase, or should I just look for a forever home?
That's a great question. I think it gets back to where are you at in life and how long are you going to want to live there. I wouldn't buy a home knowing that I'm going to leave in a year or two. Yet that's speculating. Honestly, personally, I thought I had to start a home, but 31 years later, I'm still in the same home.
Oh, nice.
So yeah.
I'm not surprised with how Todd you're very smart with your money. You don't do silly things like me and buy new homes.
It gets down to, are you ready for it? Or are you stable financially from your job? Are you happy where you're living? You're not going to go anywhere. So, I would say a starter home is fine if you can check all the boxes and you're ready to go. So.
Todd, is that just an advertising tactic? I always wondered, the whole idea, the concept of the starter home. Is that really a thing that we can be doing that might be okay for us, or is it more of an advertising tactic just to be able to get people to buy homes, even if it's not the one they want to live in forever?
Yeah, what is a starter home? That's a great point. What is the definition of that? Is it something that's smaller that you might need when you have a family, and you're going to outgrow later on? Is it a fixer-upper that you have to put a lot of work into? I honestly, I don't really know the definition of a starter home. A home is a home, and you can make it work. And home
is where the heart is, after all, right, guys?
Oh, is that where it is? Okay.
Yeah, we don't need 5,000 square foot homes to raise a family. So I really don't know what a starter home is, BJ. To me, maybe it's something that's smaller than what would be optimal if you're going to raise a family, I guess. But again, you can make it happen in anything. So.
Obviously, the times have changed. I feel like, children probably get their own rooms, and that's not something that I had the luxury of, at least for a part of my life, until, being the youngest, of course, I got a little bit of that because everybody moved out. But, my older siblings never had their own rooms, but I think that's a thing that people will basically move out of one home into another, is that, they got another kid coming and they only had like a 2-bedroom house, and they're like, well, we need a third bedroom for that other kid, or, so... but in my day, man, I had people that had 4 kids in a room.
Crazy.
It was still, you had 6 to 8 kid families.
They're tackling that right now in the reboot of Punky Brewster, at least the episode that we just watched.
Oh, really?
They brought in a new girl, and all of a sudden someone's got to share a room with her.
And that's it's almost
Todd,
bizarre.
You watching Punky Brewster on the Peacock Network?
But you turned out okay, BJ, so it all worked out, right? Yeah. So
define okay.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999 if you got a question for Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Someone said, hey, I got a question. I filed my Texas.
Hey, my Texas and taxes. All my exes are in Texas.
I filed my taxes already. I got a way bigger return than normal. Did I screw up, or did something change this year?
Without knowing all the details of the return, I'm assuming if you qualified for the stimulus, you got those, or you got them when you filed your taxes. Nothing has really changed from the tax laws that it would be big outside of that stimulus that you would have gotten earlier in the year, or if you didn't get it, you're getting it now. So without knowing all the details, I can't really say. But if you want to, give me a shout out, email me. Happy to kind of walk it through to see what's changed. There should be, if you did them yourself, there should be a page that kind of talks about summarizes 2019 and 2020 and the differences. So you might be able to dive in and see what's different there.
Todd, I guess the obvious thing is, this was a tough year financially for some people, and even people that had jobs, a lot of those folks may have got pay reductions. And if you kept your deductible at the same, your deductibles, I should say deductions at the same situation, that would have had you put more money and give them more tax money than you needed to. That's one possibility if people made less.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, you're in a lower tax bracket. Sure. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into play, and but without knowing all the details, that's really hard to say.
And of course, people who do their own taxes, it very well could just be criminality. Somebody could just be stealing. Let's be honest, right? 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. We're talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Going back to house stuff, someone wanted to know what should they be doing to buy a home within a year? As I'm trying to save as much as I can, is there more that I should be doing?
Yeah, there's a few things. I guess I would start by take a look at your credit. How good is that? And it should be in the 720s or above. I'd like to see in the 760s above, so you get the best rates out there. So let's see what your credit looks like, and if you're buying it with somebody else in a joint, both of you. Secondly, I would take a first-time home buyer class, and they're free. BECU offers them, others offer them as well. They'll walk you through what that process looks like, and then save for that down payment. So if you can, obviously the goal would be 20% down, but don't be discouraged if you don't get there. If you have to pay private mortgage insurance, it's okay. But again, just try to save as much as you can. So those three things, what I would do: credit, what do we look like there? First-time home buyer class, and save.
Todd, that's a tough one because it is a financial transaction, but people just want to have their own home. And to the point where they don't care if they're actually getting a bad financial deal or at least going a little too soon. Is that something you guys cover in that class, the idea emotions over practicality?
Maybe what do you mean by that, BJ? You mean just by I need to have a home, how prices are rising, I'm going to miss out and getting caught in that kind of trap, if you will?
I've got a who's like, wanting to buy a home. And I'm just like, wow. I'm not sure if in fact, financially that's the right thing for them to do right now. It's great to want to own a home, or even the texter who said, I want to do it within a year. Boy, when you hear stuff like that, it's like, oh, that's not the best way to go into any sort of financial transaction. Unless of course you're just wanting it. Like you don't care about the money, you just want the experience of owning the home, and I feel like that's more emotional than pragmatic.
Yeah, every situation is different. I think it's good to have goals and say, okay, my goal is to own a home in a year, and now what's my plan to get there? So I own that home in another year after that, right? So I'm not rushing into something it's a mess and needs a lot of repairs. I can't handle it, or I get strapped and I can't handle the payments on the mortgage. So I think it's okay to have the goal of a year or two or whatever that may be, but you got to take the right steps to get there, and not just rush into it without some planning.
206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999 as we're talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org.
Good. Quick question from someone who said I make a decent salary, $90,000 a year. No retirement, though. Where should I start?
Well, I don't know. If you have a plan at work, whether it be a 401k, 403b, whatever, that's the first place I would look, and I would look to see if there's a company match. If you have a company match, then that's the first place you go because that's free money. Outside of that, depending on your age and whatnot, you can certainly do an IRA on your own on the side. You're only going to be able to put in about $6,000 or so, depending on your age, $6,500 in the IRA if you do it on your own. So that's why I do say go with the 401k or 403b, the employer plan. If you can put more, should be able to put up to $19,000 in that. Secondly, depending on your age, and we talk about this, I lean towards the Roth IRA. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get the tax break today, but that money is going to grow tax free forever.
And we've run out of time with Todd, but if you didn't get through, no problem. Just go to KISW.com and scroll down and you'll see the banner with Todd's smiling face. Click on that and Todd will answer as many questions as he can. And don't forget, man, BECU is an awesome joint. If you live, work, or attend school in Washington State, you can join that credit union, bceu.org. That's becu.org. Todd, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, BJ. Appreciate it.
We got a TV doctor. That's right. A doctor plays one on TV who actually just saved a man's life. And you're going to hear from him at 8:17 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Wenatchee is gorgeous in the spring with its lush green rolling hills, abundant wildflowers everywhere, and the views of the Columbia River. The local food scene offers an abundant selection of authentic international cuisines featuring the unique farm-fresh ingredients of the region. Wenatchee is also home to award-winning wines, handcrafted hard ciders, and a talented handful of local brewers producing fine craft beers. Visit Wenatchee, the heart of Washington State.
New on Curiosity Stream. Deformed trees, mutated wildlife, and no humans for miles. 10 years after the disaster at Fukushima, see what this irradiated ecosystem can teach us about nuclear fallout on Radioactive Forest. Plus, looking for the most diverse marine life on the planet? Dive into the Coral Triangle and experience a frenzy of wildlife you've got to see to believe on nature's greatest secret. It's all on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Spend less time in the laundry room and more time doing the things you love. Introducing the Samsung Smart Top Load Laundry Pair, now available at Lowe's. The washer's large capacity means you can fit more in every load. Plus, its super speed setting washes a full load in only 28 minutes. Shop the smart washer that will streamline laundry day, backed by Lowe's Price Promise. Based on using super speed on a normal cycle with an 8-pound load. Terms apply. See Lowe's.com/price promise for details. U.S. only.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. So, Dr. Oz, who is a doctor on TV, actually real-life doctored somebody, saved a dude's life after the man collapsed and had no pulse at the Newark, New Jersey airport on Monday night.
Damn.
Yeah, Dr. Oz rolled the dude over, cleared his airway, and began giving him CPR before using a defibrillator. Easy for me to say, a defibrillator.
I'm not even going to try and correct you. It sounds great to me.
Why? Geez, you're the guy. A defibrillator. There we go.
Defibrillator.
That's it. Yeah.
Defibrillator?
Yeah.
Shut up. Defibrillator. Kidding. Is Dr. Oz, what kind of doctor is Dr. Oz?
Is he a doctor? Good question. I don't know if he's a real doctor. I mean, Dr. Phil, I guess, is a doctor of psychology of some sort, right? I don't know if, you have to have what? Like a master's degree to be a doctor, outside of being a medical doctor.
Oh, yeah, he's a cardiothoracic defibrillator.
A heart surgeon?
He's a heart surgeon.
He's a heart surgeon.
Oh, yeah. So he really is a doctor.
Oh, so okay.
All right, so even though he plays a doctor on TV...
This is not nearly as impressive as... No, I'm kidding.
It really isn't. Cool. It's like, it would be really bad if he did know how to save this guy's life with CPR and all that, since he's the heart guy. But he did recount what happened. He's at the airport when he was collecting his baggage.
But a gentleman had collapsed, fallen on his face. There was no pulse. And so the first thing you do when there's no pulse is you give the patient a pulse by doing CPR. So getting on top of his chest, compressing as hard as I could. So as I was doing that, I was seeing this foam coming out of his mouth, and his color was, again, horrible. So the Port Authority police had come around, thankfully. And so I had one of the gentlemen there start doing the CPR for me, and I controlled his airway.
Wow. I don't even know how to control an airway. I mean, I barely know how to do CPR.
You just got to do it to staying alive. Just boom, boom, boom. I mean, that's another one bites the dust. Damn it.
But it also works. They both work.
That's just a little bit more morbid, though.
But the airway, who's the airway job? You got to put your fingers in the mouth and do what? Just see if there's anything in there blocking them?
Yeah, see if there's anything blocking. I think to move the tongue, I believe.
Oh.
Just in case it's like blocking
I think just take like a pen, remove the pen part, and just stab it in their throat, and that creates a hole, right?
Oh, is that
that or a straw, right?
I don't think you should listen to any of us.
That's for choking, dude. That's for choking.
All right. Well,
don't listen to any of us, please. I don't think that's a good idea. And the airport luckily had a defibrillator, and here's Dr. Oz talking about it.
The defibrillator came in, slapped it on his chest. And so it pretty quickly figured out what I discerned, which is there was no pulse. This man was dead. And it shocked him at the highest power possible. And it worked. And by the time I put him on the stretcher to take him to the ambulance, he didn't remember anything about what had happened.
Wow. And so really it's the defibrillator, the device that worked. It's a good thing they had one, because I guess another one bites the dust didn't do it, Steve.
Wow, though. Yeah, I mean, and how about you come through and you have no idea what the hell's going on, but Dr. Oz is just hovering over you.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing. I mean, if
do you watch his show from then on out?
You have to watch his show. I mean, he saved your life, right? I mean, that's the least you can do.
Then you're probably the annoying guy in the family. Every time you're watching, what are you doing watching Dr. Oz? I'm like, he saved my life, if you don't remember.
Yeah, that's the story.
We heard the story a billion times.
Yeah, every time it's on TV at anybody's house, here goes Bob again with his Dr.
Oz. Dr. Phil was there, not Dr. Oz.
Yeah.
Jeez, man.
Dr. Phil, he just would have berated him. You are a B-A-I-T. You're a baby.
That is, man, I don't know what I would do if because I know you learn CPR, but you never think that you're going to have to do it. It's like, how are those instincts going to kick in? And also, my wife and I were not laughing about this, but we were just thinking about it. We took all the children's CPR and all that stuff before Tatum was born, but now it's been over a year. We haven't had to thank God, haven't had to use it. So we went on YouTube to watch videos on it again, just to kind of remind ourselves and refresh ourselves on how to properly do it, because it's been so long since we've taken that class. At the time, this all makes sense. I got this. But then, fast forward a year, in a couple of months, I'm like, I don't remember what the hell we do. We pat her in the back or something. I'm not sure.
Just don't. Yeah, but here's the thing. If you're giving anybody CPR, Steve, do not sing or hum Another One Bites the Dust. I just think you're really, you're sending the wrong message. Yeah. I mean,
no, the one you have to do is WAP.
Does that work too?
That works too. Apparently on TikTok, there's been a couple of medical professionals that have been doing.
But I might get a little too aggressive on that one.
Yeah, especially if you start singing that song. That's not good.
Someone says Dr. Oz is lying, and the fib is not used when there's no pulse. It's for fixing an irregular heartbeat. Do you think he just made this all up just to get cred?
Well, I've watched television
I'm sick of people not believing me.
They always use the defib whenever somebody's not doing anything.
Well, I believe this texter. I'm sure they're a doctor.
Okay. I don't know. I know that a lot of people have issues with Dr. Oz with some of the things he said on his show and some of the claims he's made. So I don't know. The guy, he saved somebody's life apparently. So I got to give him credit for that, but I don't know if he's right or not.
Someone says never put your fingers in someone's mouth when reviving. Airway control is by jaw thrust forward. Open. That opens the airway.
Jaw thrust forward. Thank you, Vicky.
You tilt the head back a little bit.
You guys were all poo-pooing me and my methods, and your methods were just as wrong.
Well, I never said to trust any of you idiots. I just want to be clear about this. Okay? Because Vicky's the queen of... Well,
Vicky's watching YouTube.
I'm watching videos now, because I realized I haven't done it since high school.
Yeah.
My training.
You didn't even know anything about the jaw, Vicky.
Yeah, no, it's changed, right?
Yeah, and if it's changed. How's it changed? I think saving a person's life should be the same, right?
No, they've changed the things. Even when I went for the children's CPR thing, they said certain things. They're in the past you were told to do this, but don't do that anymore. It's actually more dangerous to do that. If you ask me what it was, I don't remember. I believe it was blowing into the mouth.
See, that's the problem with medicine. So you don't blow into the mouth anymore?
Yeah, you don't do the whole mouth-to-mouth thing.
Oh, okay.
Don't quote me on this. Don't if someone's passed out in front of you, don't tell me, don't be like, I heard on the radio Steve said not to do this, so I didn't do it and then he died. I don't want that kind of pressure on me, BJ.
Probably should take a CPR course.
Maybe I did. I don't remember everything.
Okay, well then not you, but maybe our listeners should take a CPR course and not listen to any of us idiots. How about that?
One texter's right. Keep up with the CPR stuff. I had to use it twice. You just never know when or where it comes in handy.
Well, except I'm a little worried about Steve and Vicky. I don't want them to do CPR on me because apparently they don't know what the hell they're talking about.
I'm not touching you. You're not a child. I'm only qualified for children.
Okay, do CPR. Really take that. Don't take that out of context, people. Really, he's talking about his own child as a loving parent.
Oh, any child. I'm here to help. I can save any child.
I'm trying to get you out of trouble, but apparently you're getting right back in it again. Yeah. All right. We got a new survey that found out that 43% of Americans would not want their family to live close enough just to pop in whenever they want.
Dude, we always have this joking conversation when like the lottery gets to a certain point. And you're like, oh, what would you do? And I'm like, I would buy a house on the water, and then I would buy a house for your parents and my parents. But there would be at least 4 or 5 blocks away. Like, I want them close, but we don't want next door neighbor close. You still want to have like that ability to be like, hey, we're on our way over. So you could have like, okay, like maybe I got to put some pants on. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want like just a random neighbor. I could just knock on your door whenever kind of thing.
Yeah. And the funny thing is that 6% higher than it was before the pandemic.
Well,
so actually before the pandemic, people were like, well, maybe I wouldn't mind living close to my relatives. And now they're like, okay, no. 6% said, yeah, I've had enough of this. I'm out. Now, 2/3 of us do wish we lived closer to our family, but like you, Steve, just not too close.
Right. Like, I want at least I want you to be able to cross a couple of streets before you can get over it. Ideally, you have to get in your car.
And who do you think out of men and women want to live, closer to their parents more? Do you think more men want to or more women want to?
Ooh. Man, I almost felt like this would be split right down the middle.
You're close. I mean, it's just a 10% point difference.
What do you think, Vicky?
I'm going to say women.
Women want to live closer.
Yeah, I love having, my parents are currently living with me, and I really hope that when they get their house, it's not too far from me.
Vicky is a winner. Vicky is a winner. Yeah, so 66% of men go, yeah, I do not want them living that close to me. Where 56% of women are going, yeah, about half the women are like, I really wouldn't mind my parents living closer. I know that Sarah is definitely wanting to do what your dream, Steve, but have us in the same cul-de-sac, the same neighborhood, like right next to each other, 3 houses. Myself, and Kathy, and then Joey on one side, Sarah on the other. That's what she wants.
Does she want Kathy in her own house, or they actually want Kathy in the same house with you?
I'm thinking she's thinking they will be living in the same house.
Okay,
together,
I didn't know if I was like, wow, yeah. Okay, I thought this was like a California thing, not just like I want to be in a different house thing.
Yeah, so she wants her parents in the one house, and then she wants Joe on one side and her on the other, I guess, or however she wants this. Now, I don't know if J-Rubs wants this, but this is what she wants.
Well, it also works out well if Sarah one day decides to bring a child into this world, to have the parents nearby.
Oh yeah,
just for hey, we'd like to go out to dinner and maybe have a break from our child. Grandpa, you want to handle this?
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking forward to. I told my wife, I'm like, you're going to come up. If Sarah gets pregnant, you're going to find a way to be back in Seattle or something, because I am not going to be the one. There's no way that's not going to be my gig. I mean, I don't mind hanging out watching the kid, but if I can pawn him off on somebody, if I got to do it all by myself, that poor little kid, I don't know, man.
So what if Sarah and J-Rubs, they decide that they have a child while they're still living with you? What happens then?
Oh, this is going to be, this is...
good, huh?
This is, I might have to get an
apartment. Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe could come by and take care of things. Uncle Joey. Like Full House. Wow. Cut it out.
Oh, this is my calling. I'm so in. I'm going to take him to have ice cream every day. I'm going to spoil the crap out of the kid.
I think Joe would actually I think he would do very well with the kid. I think he'd do much better than I would.
Well, I mean, I think my dog Lulu could do a better job than you want to do.
Normally I would disagree, but I think you're right about this. Yeah. So we pretty much, people are just like, I don't know. It's fascinating that almost half the women would like to live close to their parents. That is, I don't know why that is. Whereas, more men are like, only 40% of the men are willing to do it, where the other 60% are like, but I guess, traditionally, doesn't that seem like, the dude wants to go out and make his way, and, the average woman wants to be more family oriented and be around the people that they love. It's a wild thing, like how tribal we are, like back in the Cro-Magnon days, that we're still kind of doing that as far as the average man and the average woman.
Do you think it's a make his way kind of thing, or more of just like, I just kind of want to have my own space, I want to be able to, I think about I wish my parents lived in Washington. That'd be pretty awesome to could see Tatum grow and not have to just do FaceTime and things along those lines. And maybe one day we could travel again and all see each other in person.
Do you forget your father in the car incident? Are you sure you want him that close?
Like I said, several blocks, maybe a moat and a drawbridge as well. Yeah, because if I'm rich, I could do that kind of a thing.
Oh yeah, if you're rich, of course, you get the moat and the drawbridge.
I want my parents in Tukwila, and we're in Puyallup, so it's I'm not going to see them every day, but I could see them once a week at least.
Yeah, I think that would be that's about right.
And we can go home. That's the problem with visiting. It's it's always great to see my parents, but it's like Vegas. After a few days, you're just done. You want to go home. You're just worn out. You know what I mean?
When your parents are like Vegas.
But at least with this, you could see them, and then you go home that night. And it's like, okay, we'll miss them again in a week, as opposed to every waking moment of that week together you're spent in the home with each other, you know?
Oh yeah, I'm with you, man. And as a parent, I'm the same way. I can't speak for, Kathy, but man, I want to be like, okay, see you later. I mean, I don't want to be in their lives every day of the week. I really would like to have them have their own space and me have my own space. Yeah.
Which is that was been really smart hiring them onto the show so that then they're around all the time, even at work.
Yeah, that really worked out, didn't it?
Yes.
All right. Though I have to say, I would never see, if not for being in the workplace with Joey, I'd never see him. I would never see
Joe's just
Joey.
rolling his eyes. Like, Joe, is that true?
No, it's not true at all. We used to go to movies. I play board games with you. I don't know where this rumor of Joey hates his family came up. I mean, I like these guys.
It's not that you hate the family.
It's a social media post that you just write hashtag I hate my family.
Yeah, you know what? I got to live two different lives in there. That's social media.
Yeah, Steve, I don't care what he's saying. I mean, look, he does play board games from time to time.
Does go to movies with you.
And he does go to movies from time to time. But I am saying that, it might be once or maybe twice a month I might see this kid, if not for this job. Because that's what it was when he didn't have this job. When he wasn't here, I didn't see him that much.
Can you confirm or deny this?
I think that's about right, but that's not like below average. Is it like once or twice a week or a month to see your family?
Every other week.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there we go.
I mean, I think
there we go.
There we go.
I got nothing for you, man. I love those guys. I hope they don't think otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I know you do, but then there's Sarah, where she makes up for it every day. See her every day because she lives in this house and she'll never leave.
Nope.
No, I think the plan is to get you out before she does.
Yeah, that is the plan. No doubt about it. Which, if you try to take me out, you shouldn't have me eat so healthy. That's all I would say. Let me have my donuts, and I'll be out sooner than you know. Woo! Party! Okay, that got dark. That got very dark. All right, so we got this, man. We got Steve, who yesterday, you know what? Steve did get this one right.
What actor is the most recent to portray James Bond?
Oh, it's his birthday today. Crap. What's his name, though?
Oh, gosh.
Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Oh, it came true. I wasn't sure you're going to get it.
Oh, yeah, man. That's my only Bond.
Yeah. I was wondering, how old is he? Because he did have a birthday yesterday. Because it's amazing that James Bond could be like, close to 60.
53.
Is he 53?
Yep.
It's so weird to think like, 007, the great guy, is actually 53 years old. You just wouldn't think of like a super spy being that old.
Still sexy.
007.
Okay, still sexy has been called. Yeah, 007 AARP. Well, if you want a shot at beating Steve, you got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're going to play Beat Miggs at 847 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. I owe a lot of back taxes. Can bankruptcy help me?
Bankruptcy can discharge back taxes under certain circumstances. Some types of taxes are never dischargeable, like if you have taxes from an employee, if you ran a business and didn't pay employee taxes or sales taxes. Those types of taxes cannot be discharged in bankruptcy. However, most people don't have those kind of taxes. Most people have just regular income taxes. If you owe income taxes and you filed your tax returns but just weren't able to pay the taxes, if the taxes are more than 3 years old and you filed the tax returns, those types of taxes can be discharged in bankruptcy in most circumstances, especially through a Chapter 13 case.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.